Oh my God, my dream apartment in Panama overlooking the bay ended up having mold in it when I moved in. Have you heard about mold issues in Panama? Are you aware that it can be quite common here? Well, in this video, we're diving into all things mold in Panama using my experience with it when I first moved here. We will cover why mold is common in Panama, hiring inspectors, remediation specialists, and mold cleaning companies, tips if you have pets, some items that you can purchase to help combat these pesky little buggers, and we'll also give advice from my personal experience and from people that live here. Hello, my name is Aisha and I navigate life with cerebral palsy. I'm bringing pieces of Panama to your screen until you can experience it for yourself. Now, let's get started. Mold is common here in Panama. Many homes, buildings, and outdoor spaces are affected by it. There are several factors that contribute to mold growth in Panama, including high humidity, poor ventilation, and water damage. If you have allergies and notice that they're flaring up, it just might be mold. A mold inspector can help identify the cause of the mold and determine the best course of action to eliminate it. But more on the mold inspections later on in this video. Immediately upon moving into my apartment, I noticed a slight smell in the unit, more specifically the bedroom, and even more specifically in the wooden dresser. I wiped everything down with Clorox wipes and Pledge. I paid extra close attention to the dresser because the scent was annoying me. In hindsight, the smell was probably mildew. I ended up purchasing odor eaters, disinfectants, and moisture absorbers. They were placed throughout the apartment because I was leaving for the US for a few weeks before my big move. The AC was left on to circulate the air, and damp rids were placed in the closet, the bathroom, bedroom, living room, and kitchen to collect moisture while I was gone. But clearly, that wasn't enough. Upon returning to Panama with all of my things and my 2 cats, there was a layer of mold on everything. Did I mention everything? I had never seen or experienced anything like this before. It was on the walls, the couch, the fridge, the bed, everywhere. I was glad that I had already purchased cleaning products before my big move, but there was no way that I could clean all of it up. I wiped down what I could and then stared off into space in the heavens, wondering what to do. I was exhausted from the move, bringing 2 cats, minimal sleep. My body was barely able to move and I felt overwhelmed with having to deal with all of this in a new country. Not knowing what to do, I asked in an expat chat group if anyone had dealt with mold in Panama before, and lo and behold, a mold guardian angel appeared and gave me a referral for an inspector. So, the obvious question is, how did I end up with mold? If you ask the mold inspector, the mold was already here before I moved in. If you ask the owner of the apartment, it was my fault for leaving the AC on for a few weeks while I was in the US. I have to say, this inspection remediation company was extremely thorough. They used a special light to search for mold in cabinets, dressers, drawers, under furniture, vents, etc. They also checked the humidity throughout the apartment. They took mold samples in various places and sent the swabs to a lab in Miami to determine the type of mold. It only took a few days to get the results back. They gave advice for the meantime, like spraying things down with a mixture of vinegar and water and installing filters for mold. The HVAC system did not have filters installed. Why would I even know to ask that upon moving in? Other advice that they shared will be discussed later on in this video. Once the mold samples were analyzed, they issued an extremely detailed report showing where the mold was in the apartment with photos, the type of mold, and a quote for the remediation. Another company came and gave a quote as well. They seem to be more of a cleaning company that uses a hospital-grade disinfectant for mold. I ended up using both companies because the first company did not remove all of the mold from the closet or the kitchen cabinets. A link to both companies can be found in the description below. Why am I linking both companies if one of them missed the closet and the kitchen cabinets? Well, I'm not sure if it was lost in translation because I'd never dealt with this before and I tried speaking in Spanish, or they just didn't do those areas. But that's neither here nor there. They came in with a team of 4 to 5 people and cleaned and treated the apartment in 1 day. They even helped me move my bags to an Airbnb that I rented for 2 days so that my cats weren't in the way or would get sick from the product. They did a really good job of cleaning the apartment and found places like under the bathroom cabinet that clearly were not cleaned before I moved in. They used a product for their cleaning process that is a hospital-grade product, vinyl oxide. It eliminates up to 99.99% of viruses, bacteria, fungus, and mold. I did feel better about living here after they left. I still felt a bit concerned about some areas in my apartment after living there for a while, so I asked the remediation company to come back and do another inspection. They confirmed my suspicion that the closet and kitchen cabinets still had mold, as well as a few other places. They said not as much as before and that the cleaning company did get most of it, but there were still some in just a few spots. The remediation company took 2 days. They came with 3 people and the company's owner for process explanations and for periodic check-in supervision. I spoke to them ahead of time regarding my cats. I didn't want to move them again. They said they could do the bedroom first on one day and then the rest of the apartment on day 2, sectioning off the 2 rooms. They also told me to remove all of the clothes from my closets and dressers. She told me to wash the clothes after they were done and then put them back to avoid any cross-contamination. That was fun. Back to back packing and unpacking again. Once they completed the remediation, they took another swab of the walls and other areas to send to the lab for analysis. Whew, I can breathe and cook again. Tee-hee. Now, here are some tips and tricks from those of us living here in Panama regarding mold in general, advice if you're traveling, and tips for remediation. I'm not a mold specialist, I just play one on TV. Tee-hee. This list is not all-inclusive or guaranteed. You'll have to figure out what works for you. If you're watching this and have dealt with mold in Panama, please comment below so that we can all help each other. 1. Keep the humidity levels below 60%. Occasionally spray things with a mixture of white vinegar and water. Add a fan and dehumidifier to poorly ventilated places like closets. 4. Use products like Damp Rid for your closets and/or smaller moisture collectors. Place small moisture collectors in your dressers and cabinets. Store items in plastic containers. When taking showers with hot water, you should use the air conditioning and a dehumidifier. It should be used for a minimum time of the duration of the shower plus 45 minutes later. Tips if you're traveling. See if you have someone you can trust come in and air out the place here and there, and to ensure that air is circulating. Clean your apartment before and after you return. Cover what you can in plastic. I had a friend do this for their last vacation and they came back to a mold-free apartment. There is nothing on here. 2 months. Leave fans on to provide circulation. Consider putting sensitive items in plastic bins or in storage. Remove all of your clothes from the closets and dressers and put them in an enclosed location for washing after the remediation is completed. If you have pets, see if they can do 1 room at a time or find a pet-friendly hotel or Airbnb for a night or 2. Remove all items from your cabinets, including dishes. Plan ahead of time what you're going to do for that day or 2 days, since you will most likely not be in the apartment when they're cleaning. I took a tour one day and stayed in the living room the other day while they were cleaning the bedroom. I feel like this is a case of CSI. They've cordoned off the crime scene. If you gained value from this video, don't forget to like, comment, share, or subscribe, or consider becoming a channel member for behind the scenes of my life as an expat. See you in the next video. The world is yours. You just have to find your place in it.